Hello, BookTube. I've got some mail for you today. A bit of mail on an absolutely gorgeous day. Late June, early summer, and yet the day is beautiful. Clear blue sky, warm but not hot, gorgeous light breezes, just lovely. Just a lovely day. I started it off very early at the crack of dawn with my little bean and some very quiet conversations. It moved on to a wonderful visit to the Brattle Bookshop in downtown Boston. Uh, it followed up with a great big heavy box of books sent to me by one of you that was full of surprises. And it's going to go right on. I am determined to have a media-free, good day where I do a lot of reading and a lot of writing and talk with my imaginary BookTube friends. And also lots and lots of outside time because the weather is not pestilential. It's not pouring rain. It's not thunder and lightning. It's not boiling hot. The weather is perfect for multiple dog walks today. But I thought we'd go over the mail, a little bit of mail here, including the new New Yorker with this instant classic cover, a summer cover where the man has put all of his books in the refrigerator so that he can be nice and cool on a hot day. Uh, Kind of a throwback in a number of different ways. No one, you would expect in the New Yorker that it would be a tablet of some kind that the guy would be reading. Of course, the old idea, the old New Yorker gimmick of getting your air conditioning from your refrigerator. Air conditioners are pretty cheap, and they are everywhere here in America. So, but still fun, and it's by Klaas Verplank. And it wasn't the only good illustration in this issue. I am a bit of a connoisseur of, not a connoisseur, but a big fan of New Yorker cartoons. I love them. And there was one in here that was actually good. Most of them are not good anymore. Most of them are, in fact, rather bad. But this one is the classic New Yorker scenario of a man in a hospital bed with a doctor giving him some news. And the caption is, "First the good news, Mr. Edmonds. You're going to get closure." I I like that. But then let's look at the mail here. We've got two packages to just tear open here. Try not to destroy anything while we do that. Hopefully this will be two finished copies. Hopefully 2 July finished copies. Oh, okay. Oh boy, that was fast. Okay, I was just conversing about this. This is out in July, I think, from the folks at Mariner Books. Is that right? July? Yes, this is late July. This is by Rachel Kuser, and it is Alexander at the End of the World. It's an Alexander the Great book about his time in the back of beyond, past the edge of the maps from his old Macedonian home. The forgotten final years of Alexander the Great. Always up for an Alexander the Great book. As I know some of you are as well. By 330 BCE, that's before the Common Era. And what makes it the Common Era? Christianity. So it's before Christianity. So why do you have the E on there? I don't know. Because you're a bigot? I don't know. Alexander the Great had reached the pinnacle of success, or so it seemed. He had defeated the Persian ruler Darius III, seized the capital city of Persepolis. His exhausted and traumatized soldiers were ready to return home to Macedonia. Yet Alexander had other plans. He was determined to continue heading east to Afghanistan in search of his ultimate goal, to reach the end of the world. Alexander's unrelenting desire to press on resulted in a perilous 7-year journey through the unknown eastern borderlands of the Persian Empire that would test the great conqueror's physical and mental limits. He faced challenges from the natural world, moving through deadly monsoons and extreme temperatures, from a rotating cast of well-matched adversaries who conspired against him at every turn, and even from his own men, who questioned his motives and distrusted the very beliefs on which Alexander built his empire. At a couple of different points, flatly refusing to obey him, flatly refusing to go any further. So this is a fascinating period. I don't know that it's forgotten, but in this book, renowned classicist and art history professor Rachel Kuser vividly brings to life Alexander's labyrinthine, treacherous final years. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, well, this comes out past the midpoint in July, so those of you who are big Alexander fans, you will now know something of what it is, and maybe to pre-order it at your library. Or if you're feeling a little flush, got a few beans in the old bag, feel free to pre-order a copy. The author, I'm sure, would be grateful for that. So an Alexander book to start us off. That's good. And then we'll just put one other package here. I've done 2 other massive book hauls today, so this doesn't need to take us long. Let's see here. What is this next one? Oh, great. Okay. This was a little bit MIA, so I'm glad to finally have this. No sheet for it, but I think this is out already. This is by Daisy Dunn, who did a book about Pliny, and the Shadow of Vesuvius, or something like that I liked quite a bit. This is The Missing Thread, a woman's history of the ancient world. And we can just... okay, so this has blurbs from Lucy Worsley, Anne Seba, Paul Cartledge, Peter Frankopan, A.N. Wilson. Okay, pretty well blurbed. Let's just read the dust jacket of this, although the cover makes it pretty clear what this is. But let's see. Around 4,000 years ago, the mysterious Minoans sculpted statues of topless women with snakes slithering on their arms. More than 1,000 years later, Sappho wrote great poems of longing and desire. And in the twilight days of the Roman Republic, Fulvia, Cleopatra's love rival, fought a war on her absent husband's behalf. For classicist Daisy Dunn, these women, whether they were sitting at their looms at home or participating in the highest echelons of power, were up to something much more interesting than other histories would lead us to believe. Together, these women helped to make antiquity as we know it. In this dazzlingly ambitious work, Dunn reconceives our understanding of the ancient world by emphasizing women's roles in it. This book never relegates women to the sidelines, and is populated with artists, writers, leaders, and creators of history, including well-known figures such as Cleopatra and Agrippina, as well as the likes of Achaemenid consort Atossa and Olympias, a force in Macedon and the mother of Alexander the Great, hence the connection between these 2 books. Spanning 3,000 years, the story moves from Minoan Crete to Mycenaean Greece, from Lesbos to Asia Minor, from Persian Empire to the court of royal Macedonia, and concludes with Rome and its growing empire. Okay. The women of antiquity are undeniably woven throughout the fabric of history, and in The Missing Thread, they finally take center stage. Well, of course, that's a publisher writing that cover copy. Daisy Dunn probably didn't write that cover copy. If she's a classicist, she knows perfectly well how many times a book like this has been written. It's not like this is the first time. But they're always interesting. Always interesting. And I didn't get this. I think this is out already. So I've got one from July and one from, I believe, June. So good. 2 works of nonfiction, 2 works of ancient history. Steve is pleased. So not a bad mail haul. So I'll wrap this up nice and quick, under 10 minutes, and I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.